Today I thought I could talk about, and something that's kind of been coming into my mind lately is, what do we take for granted? What do we have in our life that other people would look at and go, that is an incredible blessing. I would be so grateful to live that experience. And what do we have that we really don't appreciate or don't really think about how lucky we are to actually have that? Whether that might be a relationship that we're in love with, whether that might be amazing friends or amazing community, having an awesome job that feels aligned with our purpose on this planet, just having sweet, loving pets. There's so many things that other people desire that we might have and not even give it a second glance. And often what appreciation does is it fills ourselves up more with value. It fills our life up more with value. And if we are coming from a place of taking things for granted or lacking appreciation, it doesn't mean necessarily this will always happen, but any type of judgment, hatred, harshness is always coming from a lack of appreciation, because you could never throw judgments at people, throw judgments at yourself, be hard on yourself if you fully appreciated yourself and who you are and what a miracle it is to be you. Because real appreciation gives yourself value, and if you think you have value, you're going to say things that hurt yourself or hurt others a lot less, because you see how valuable you are. And I heard someone else teach this, and I thought it was a great line, but she was talking to one of her spirit guides. This is Joy Khan too, if you're familiar with her work. She was talking to one of her spirit guides, and she asked one day, why do you help us? Why do you take time out of your existence, come out of your day to come and give us guidance, to come and help us through our problems here on earth? Why do you choose to work with me and give me information that helps the people who I'm serving? And the guide said, if you knew what an incredible blessing it is to be in a body, you would understand why I help you. Or like, that's a paraphrase, but something along those lines. And I think that's so true. Like, even the fact of like being born, like how many things have to go perfect in order to give birth to a healthy baby, and how lucky are you just to be alive and just to have enough health in your body to continue to breathe. And I'm someone who's had, I have injuries. I have an injured knee that's been injured for over a year and a half. I have an injured shoulder. I have some other things going on with my body. But if only I had known what an incredible blessing it is just to have healthy knees and have a healthy shoulder. And if my body ever does get back to like 100 or 95% even, like just the fact of being able to have free mobility and not getting knee pain when you're running, like that is such a gift, and that is such a blessing. And just to be healthy is a blessing. And what we learn is what we focus on grows. And if we're constantly focusing on how we're not enough, how life is not enough, that's going to grow within you. If you focus on what are the things I did well today, and can I make that, and can I allow that to be a reminder of how successful I am or how well I'm doing, that is going to grow within you. And the more you feel like you're doing a great job, the more you're going to do a great job, because you'll then have more access to that feeling. And to some degree, our feelings influence our choices. And if we feel exhausted and miserable and hate ourselves, we most likely are going to make choices that are going to reinforce those feelings. And if we feel incredible, we feel like we have value, we recognize how hard we try in every moment, we recognize our amazing nuances and the perspectives only we hold, or the level of kindness or sweetness or joy or playfulness or creativity that feels really unique to our being that we don't see very often in the other people we connect with. We're gonna, if we recognize our value, we're gonna make choices that are gonna remind us of our value. We're gonna say words to others that remind them of their value. And the more everyone feels valuable, the less anyone is gonna have space or room to hurt other people, because people only project when they are trying to dominate or trying to protect themselves from being hurt. And we're only afraid of being hurt based on our unwillingness to care and love ourselves through that hurt. And what you realize as we go through life is that no matter how deeply you love someone, no matter how deeply you love your experience, eventually it will all end. It will all end. The relationships that you're in love with, those people will either eventually move on to other people or die or just move to different states and you'll see them less. The people that, the things we really enjoy in our life, maybe it's a pet, maybe it's going for walks. Eventually maybe we get too old and we can't go for walks anymore. Eventually our pets will die. Everything will eventually end. And so what can we really appreciate in this moment and use it as a reminder of how lucky you are to be alive? Because just being alive is a miracle in itself. So many things had to go right in the womb just for you to be in a body. And who knows how much your angels or your guides, how much work they had to put in to make sure that that baby was healthy along with the body that was growing that baby. And if we recognize how lucky it is for us just to be in this moment, how lucky it is for us to have things that other people maybe feel incredibly jealous about, or maybe it's their greatest dream to have what we have, we start to realize what a gift, what a blessing life is. And as life becomes more and a gift and a blessing, we start to bring more of ourselves forward because we realize how precious every moment is, and we start to really savor the moments we're in, rather than trying to find reasons to check out or numb ourselves. And if we do that, that's okay, but it's usually coming from a place of, I can't deal with life, and we only can't deal with life for how unlovable, unworthy, and unsatisfied we feel with life. And that is something that can change when we change our perspective. And the fastest way to heal unworthiness is to be fucking grateful for you, to be grateful for the people around you. Because anything you say, if you say something loving to someone else, or you say, hey, I'm just so grateful I'm your friend, or you add a lot of value into my life and I'm grateful to know you, those words of gratitude come in as a blessing, and they pass through your heart before going out to that other person who hears it. And even if that person isn't in front of you, just saying those words to a wall blesses your heart with more gratitude and appreciation, which adds greater value to you. And gratitude and appreciation, you can almost think of it as like we are like stocks, and the more we appreciate ourselves, the more the value of that stock appreciates. And appreciation and gratitude is the building block for any type of joy, happiness, celebration. And pretty much anyone you ask says they want to feel joy, they want to be in love with their life, they want to be happy, they want to be able to have more time to celebrate their life. And what creates those feelings is gratitude, is being grateful for what you do have, is focusing on what's right in the moment. And we only feel like things are wrong or things need to change when we're focusing more what's wrong with our life than what we actually have in the moment, that what an actual blessings or gifts our life actually holds. And like, even for me, I was thinking about this yesterday, just the fact that I live in the US, that I attended college, that I'm in an apartment that I can turn on the sink and get crystal clear drinking water out of. For some people in like rural countries, that's probably their greatest dream, is to just get to America and be able to have greater opportunities, or to have clean drinking water that isn't filled with mud and bugs and leeches. And so we all to some degree have like, we all have wealth in us, and our feeling of abundance, whether we have $30 in our bank account or $3 billion on our bank account, isn't the number itself, but it's how much you appreciate it, one, and then and are you then willing to share? Because if you have more than enough, or you have abundance, the vibration of abundance is having more than enough to share. And even if you have $30, you probably could share $1, $5, 30 cents, whatever you feel comfortable with. But it's the appreciating what you have and having enough to share with others around you, others in need, that creates the vibration of abundance. It isn't how much, it isn't the career, it isn't the goals. It's how you focus on what you already have. And you can think about this also for like maybe someone who wants to live, who wants to be an Olympic athlete. And for some people, just making the Olympic qualifying time, they would feel incredibly successful. And for some people, it would be making it to the finals of the Olympic qualifier. And for some people, it would then be making the Olympic team. That would be their goal. And for even another person, maybe it's making it to the finals of the Olympics. And then for another person's goal, it might be getting a medal. And then for another person's goal, maybe it's getting first place. And let's say you came in second place in the Olympics, you got the silver medal, and just and sometimes I feel like maybe this isn't always true. It's probably not always true, but sometimes it is true, where people are hard on themselves for not taking first place. But how many things had to go right in order for you just to have the opportunity to compete in the finals and the Olympics? And like, how many people did you have to beat out? And how hard did you have to practice? And how healthy did your body, your body had to stay healthy for how many different races? And how many races did like your shoes have to stay on your feet and not fall off in order for you to just get to the place of being in the finals of the Olympics? And for most people, if you told them they were the second fastest person in the world, they would feel incredibly accomplished at being that. But I think sometimes we can get caught up in not being the highest, or not being first place, or not fully reaching our goal. And it's like so many things you achieved that some people would view as incredibly successful, just for you to get to that moment. And you could feel incredibly successful just by appreciating all the people you beat out, every race that you won or finished high enough to then make it to the next heat or the next round in order for you to make it to the finals and get the silver medal. Or you could be incredibly hard on yourself for not getting the gold. And which would feel better in your body, but the appreciation of every little milestone you hit and made just to have the opportunity to compete for a medal. And it's something I think that gets overlooked quite a lot in our lives, is like, how much do we really have, and how much more can we be grateful for? Because as we are grateful for it, it only will add greater value to ourselves, greater value to our life, and it will give our life greater meaning. And life is a life about, I think I might have said this before, about how deeply you love the people around you, how deeply you love yourself. It doesn't matter what you achieve or don't achieve, but your willingness to focus on, like, you could literally just take the little things you do in your day and point out, I did this and I have the right to feel successful about this. Like, I did my dishes last night. I did them this morning. I did my dishes this morning, and I have the right to feel good about it. My apartment is fairly clean, and I have the right to feel good about it. I have the right to feel successful about it. I took a dump this morning, and I have the right to feel successful about it. I remembered to brush my teeth, and I have the right to feel successful about it. And the more we just point out what we are successful at, we're literally changing our brain to focus, or repatterning our brain chemistry to focus more on what's successful in our lives and what our life is missing. And the more we focus on what we did that's successful and just say, I have the right to feel successful about this little thing that I did. I'm making a YouTube video and I have the right to feel successful about that. The more we start to notice what we have, and the less we'll notice what we feel like is missing or lacking. And honestly, what you realize by having less is how much you can appreciate what you do have. And like anything of loss, any losing, any things getting stripped away sooner than you would like, makes you start to be incredibly grateful for those around you, incredibly grateful for what you do have, and it helps you appreciate your life more. And the greatest thing that will bring life to you, that will bring the greatest joy and celebration to your life, is gratitude. And it's telling people more often how much you value them and how much meaning they add to your life. It's telling yourself more often how much you admire yourself, how confident and charismatic you are. Even if you don't feel that, just calling that out within you, saying, hey, I think you're incredibly confident and charismatic, because whatever you focus on within you will grow. Just like the feeling of, I feel enough based on how much I appreciate and value myself. I feel confident and charismatic for how much I reinforce that I am confident and charismatic. And if we can switch our perspectives of ourselves, we then change how we will show up and what we're able to access, because there is an ocean of expression within you, and you get to choose your area of focus. And the more you call something out within you, the more you say, I'm amazing, I am awesome, the more that grows within you, and the more you have access to it, and the more it will start to influence your choices and your words to be more amazing, to be more awesome. And any type of hate, division, separation, judgment comes from a place of lacking appreciation for ourselves, lacking appreciation for others. Because if we don't see the beauty in ourselves or in others, that's when we feel like it's okay to hurt that person, to hurt ourselves. And the more we fill ourselves up with how valuable we are, the more we walk gently on this planet, the more we speak lightly to ourselves and others, and the more we are going to be an expression of love rather than an expression of righteousness, hate, separation, and doing things that we look back and we regret. Oh. And so I just want to say thank you for listening. I'm grateful for your attention and your focus. And may we all find greater success and fulfillment in our life by our willingness to point it out more and water it more within ourselves and within the life where it always has been, and just was waiting for us to start to notice it more. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.